A very good morning to everyone. I extend a warm welcome to all of you who have joined us today. So I would like to thank you all for taking time out of your schedules and joining us for this session. Uh, Please note that we are having Ms. Hansalakshmi from Sony India Software Private Limited, who will be addressing all of us about the current industry scenario of jobs and education system and the career opportunities that come with Japanese learning. Hansalakshmi-san, a warm welcome to you on behalf of Team SNRC and all our students who have joined us today.
Thank you so much.
Students, kindly note that we would be recording the session and we would be uploading the same on our Facebook page. So please do not try recording the session. Post the talk, we will have a small Q&A session after the speaker talks to all of us. And there is a hand raise option on Zoom. So you can click on the hand raise option and you can drop your message on the chat box. We will read out the question to the speaker and all your questions will be answered. Okay. In case you have any more queries, you can put it up on the WhatsApp group. We will look into it and we will clear them as soon as possible. I would like to give a brief introduction about Hansalakshmi-san. So Ms. Hansalakshmi completed her graduation in engineering from the Madras University and also her higher diploma in software engineering from Aptech Education. With an overall experience of 22 plus years, she started off her career with a small company of 100 employees and learned Japanese while working. She is now an N2 certified Japanese bilingual professional and is also an L3 certified with Japanese External Trade Organization, JETRO. She has worked for 4 years in Japan as a system analyst and project lead for companies like Hitachi, Mitsubishi, Sanyo, Omron, OK Electricals, and TDI Company Limited. She has worked on different technologies like C, C++, .NET, Java, and enterprise resource planning. She has working experience with stakeholders from different countries like the US, Europe, and APAC regions. She is certified with Prince 2 Foundation and Practitioner. She is also a certified Scrum Master and ISO 14001. Currently, she is associated with Sony India Software Center Private Limited, Bangalore, as an associate director. Ma'am, thank you for accepting our request and being here with us today to talk to our students about the most required and important topic. So I hope they all take away a lot of inputs and information from what you have to speak. From here, I would hand it over to Rama-san. Thank you.
Rama, we can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
Okay. Morning to one and all. So it's good to see good number of students joining us today for hearing out from our own Hansa-san. A very knowledgeable person, but down to earth as we know her. And we are going to hear from her experience, the wide variety of experience she has put in. And living in Japan experience, of course, that also counts a lot and adds up to what the industry requirements are and how to move about or shape up your career so that you come out in a very good shape in your career. Okay, so this is Rama here. So let me first introduce Sakura Nihongo Resource Center to you, and then it's all over to Hansa-san to hear from her what she needs to go, tell us. So the first thing is we are called as Sakura Nihongo Resource Center. We are a core Japanese language services company stationed in Bangalore, and we've been in the industry for the last 22 years. So from a business point of view, it is split into two sections or categories, where one of it is as an institute, we cater to any individual needs, like from a school goer to a top management professional who wants to learn Japanese. But the other sector of it is where we are associated with corporates. We've been doing anything and everything related to Japanese with them. So as you see here, there are lots of services that we cater to corporates, be it language trainings, document translations, bilingual placements, interpretations. But the key two aspects is about our culture orientation. So when you work with Japanese, Hansa-san would, I think, touch upon it. Apart from the language, culture orientation is very, very important. Understanding them, understanding the land of Japan is very important even before you get started with the language learning. So culture orientation is a very focused area of training for us, and not only training individuals, making them culturally oriented to Japan and Japanese, but also to Japanese natives. We sensitize them about Indian culture and how we think, the mindset, so on and so forth. So these are our major services to corporates, and some of the corporates with whom we've worked, as you can see, it's large MNCs and Japanese core Japanese companies. And again, it's split into a lot of verticals, be it engineering, be it IT, be it pharma, so on, and auto, of course, so on and so forth. So not only with corporates, we are also associated with a lot of colleges. Now you come from different colleges, the participants here, right? So we see a trend that colleges want to pick up Japanese to their students well before they complete their engineering or degree, whatever they're opting for. So that's how our association with colleges have begun, and you can see quite a good number of names. Again, it is majorly Karnataka based, few in Bangalore and few outside, and few in Andhra Pradesh too. So these are the names where we are associated. Moving further, we have had, you can watch on Facebook, we've had a lot of testimonials from these colleges, and even with colleges, there has been a variety. So some want their students to get equipped for, let's say, an interview facing just conversation skills of Japanese. Some want them to get certified. So that way, again, it is sort of customized as per the requirement of the college. I would like to give, just a second more for this particular slide. Wherever we go, we would, rate our experience with any particular, be it a food outlet, be it a movie, whatever it is, we would rate it according to our experience. So here, being in Bangalore, in 2 centers in Bangalore, our students have given their reviews. So these are all organic reviews where they have indicated how good they feel and what they have learned from us. So SNRC doesn't focus only on certification, the JLPT orientation, but we give them an immersive learning. There's a lot more that we, teach them or, ask them to imbibe Japanese into them. So that's the reason we've got such good reviews from our students. Next slide, please. So as I was indicating, it's just not JLPT orientation. There are a lot of extra things that you get at SNRC. One of it is the MICHI program, how we are in. So it need not be only our students. We have spread this across to pan-India students, where they can come and hear from the top industry leaders, understand what the industry is, what the need of the industry is, right? So the same way, we have a lot of tie-ups with higher education system in Japan. We do bilingual placement, which is finally the requirement and end result. So bilingual placement is one of the things, but yes, you have to be certified in Japanese too. So that's the reason we call it bilingual placement, not a regular placement thing. So apart from that, there are a lot of activities that our students get involved, as you can see in these slides. Next slide, please. So MICHI, of course, you might have heard, some of you might have participated in the previous MICHI. So here, as I indicated, we bring in the top leaders. It's a free forum for anyone to attend. And post the MICHI, we post it on our FB so that whoever have missed out or unable to attend can look up and hear to what the leaders say. So these top leaders, I mean, we thank all the speakers of the past Michis too, and of course Hansa-san today, to take time out of their busy schedules, be available for the students on the other end. Right. Next slide, please. So as I indicated, finally, end result of any learning, you would want to get into a job, right? So with Japanese language learning, you would want to, of course, become a bilingual engineer, right? Most of you are engineers here, so I would say I call you bilingual engineers. So we have a focused website of ours, which is called Japanese Language Jobs, which is JLG. So as we are closely tied up with the industry, we provide bilingual placements according to the need of the industry. We source profiles and share it with them. So the advantage of uploading your profile with Japanese skills in the JLJ is both, it is an easy access for us, and not only that, even our corporates would be able to look into it and understand what sort of profiles we have. We give them a snapshot of the same. So that way, it's a very focused service, which is bilingual placements. So any one of you out there, if you are at least an N4 or an N3 cleared, request you to upload your profile on www.japaneselanguagejobs.com. Next. So as being an institute and a company, we are very active on the social media. You can follow us on FB, Insta, whatever is convenient to you. You will get a lot of updates. Every week there are some or the other updates being put. All the requirements are put out on the social media. So request you to follow us on that too. So this is about SNRC. Now I request Hansa-san to take over from here, so that, and the most awaited thing I would say, Hansa-san, over to you. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you, Rama, for that very good explanation and very good introduction of me. Hello, everyone. I am really excited to be part of this session here with 87 participants. So I would really like to thank SNRC for giving me this opportunity to talk to all of you here and then share my experiences and also the opportunities that are way ahead in front of you in terms of Japan and the opportunities that it offers. So before I really get started, so now I think probably one thought will be running in all of your minds. So why Japanese? Why Japan? Because there are a lot of other opportunities also. So let me explain first about myself. First of all, why did I learn Japanese, and what advantages or what opportunities that I was exposed to when I just completed my engineering. Like all of you, I am also an engineering graduate. So almost 22 years before, so I did my electronics and electricals engineering, but at the same time, I was also interested in computers or the information systems. So parallelly, while doing my engineering graduation, I also studied computers in Aptech education. And the moment I finished my graduation, I attended a couple of interviews, and I was fortunate enough within 2 months to get a job. And in August the same year, within 3 months, I was on my first job. Very excited. At the same time, a lot of questions. What path I should choose going forward, and what decisions I should take, what decisions I should not take. So I joined a small company with just 100 employees. That's not something that everybody would want to do. But I was a bit interested, though I had other opportunities in this particular organization, because they were primarily doing projects for Japan. So I joined this organization as a a trainee, and the first 3 months trained, or it was a refresher on all the technologies. And after that, 4th month, I was on the job. So it was a first-time experience. So in Japanese, they say doki doki. My heart was beating very fast. So what's in it for me? How am I going to manage? It's totally different, because so far I was a college student, carefree and enjoying, but going forward, I'm a working professional. The first project I was assigned to was for Hitachi, and it was for the cars. So I was working on a module called anti-lock braking system. So when the cars on the road on high speed, when they are taking a U-turn, and suddenly when the brakes are hit, so how does the fail-safe system comes into picture? So it has to, there should be a control on the road. There should not be any, skidding of the cars. So anti-skid. So this is what I was going to work on. So the project has come from Japan. And so there was a team of 15 members. Then I realized that all the requirement documents were in Japanese. So then that was a little bit of a shock for me, because I cannot read Japanese, though I know that this organization does, projects only for Japanese, and that's the primary reason why I joined here. Because I wanted to learn a new language, and I wanted to, have an exciting career ahead. So then, of course, there were translators and interpreters who used to, translate or interpret whenever we ask questions. But then I was dependent. The thought of dependency. So when I had some queries, I have to refer to the document, the requirement documents. But then still, I will have a lot of doubts, and I need to talk to the translation team or the translation help desk to actually understand. I was dependent, so I thought, no, I should not be dependent, and I should be, independent, learning the language, reading the documents, doing my development, and deploying the code on the production system so that people can utilize as apps. I approached the boss of that organization. Fortunately, he was very accessible, and immediately language training, because in my batch there were 20 other candidates who joined along with me and had the same problem. So while learning, I started learning the language. While working. So during lunch breaks, during early morning hours. So if the work starts at 9, then we requested, it's fine because work is hectic. We have deadlines to meet. So please, start the classes at 7. So now, because of pandemic, all of us are connected from home online. So I'm also today delivering this speech at the comfort of my home. But at that time, I had to rush and then be there for the classes. That's how I learned the Japanese language. I found it very interesting. I could apply it on my job, though it was very difficult. To be honest, it's a difficult language, but once you learn it, it stays very close to your heart. And I also learned scripting, which means to read and write, because that's the primary aim. And after that, I was given an opportunity to work in Japan. It was because the project that I did, I had done very well. As an appreciation, so my boss, it is called a Sacho in Japanese for that organization. So he said, there are a couple of opportunities, so I'm going to put you for interviews. It's going to be in Japanese. So you do your best and see what you can do. I mean, you get the opportunity, then you go to Japan immediately. So the first interview, I was a bit jittery. And of course, because their accent was so different, I am learning Japanese here from Indian, trainers. But when the Japanese people, when they took the interview, I did struggle initially to understand. But then I found that it was a lack of confidence and a lot of questions in my mind. So the next time I got an opportunity, I did really well because I said, this is my last and final opportunity. Of course, there are many more, but I didn't want to, further delay it. And I'm going to do my best. I did my best, and within a month's time, I landed in Japan within 2 years of joining an organization. So I worked for 4 years in Japan. Okay, now I would like to present my presentation and take you through it because I would like you to first understand, why Japanese? Because like everybody out there, I also had the same question and I found an answer. So similarly, I also want you all to think why before doing something. And then once you're fully convinced, then there is no looking back or turning back. With this, I would like to share my desktop. Are you able to see what I'm sharing? I think yes, correct. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so now I'm going to explain what are the current industry scenario linking jobs and the education. So what are the different opportunities that we as Indians have in Japan, and especially for students like you, what are the opportunities in Japan? Before really getting into it, so what I feel is you should actually understand all about Japan. So I think all of you know that Tokyo is the capital and one of the most expensive cities in the world. And next is there are 4 distinct seasons of Haru, Natsu, Aki, and Fuyu. So you might be wondering what these are. These are nothing but the spring, the summer, the fall, and the winter. So probably in India, also in the north, we have all these seasons, but in the south, we don't distinctively see all these 4 seasons. But in Japan, when I was there, I had the opportunity to, experience the beauty of all these 4 seasons. And Japanese is the official language that is widely spoken. So in India, we have, a lot of languages. In the north, there are a lot of languages that are spoken. In the south, there are a lot of languages spoken. Of course, official language is English, and also we have Hindi as a national language. But in Japan, Japanese is the only language wherever you go, whichever region you go, be it north, east, west, or south. But the dialect or the way it is spoken can be slightly different, or the accent can be different. But Japanese is the only language. So that is also one of the advantages that we have, because you just have to learn one language to work anywhere in Japan. And now English also has been added as medium of instruction there. So most of them are able to speak very good English, and few of them, good English. But of course, a few of the population is still trying to catch up here, where they are more comfortable with the Japanese language, and that's what is the driver for us to really learn the language. Next is, it is well connected cities with excellent transportation facilities. So there is metro that connects you to all the cities, and also there is this Shinkansen or the bullet train, and then buses. So what I really admired was, the timings. So the train generally, even for a minute, there's no delay, it's on time, and buses on time, and bullet trains. I had the privilege for the very first time in 2005, to be precise, to get into a bullet train or a Shinkansen and experience the speed at which it travels. So it's a fantastic lifetime experience, and that too an experience for the first time, then I could really feel the difference. It's more than 300 plus kilometers per hour, but you will never, feel it. Yes, there are 5 international airports with Narita and Kansai being the most famous of these. On the left hand side, if you could see, so this is the Narita International Airport. Basically, it's a very clean country and fantastic scenic beauty. So as I already said, different seasons. So during spring season, the Sakura Blossom is there. So I put a picture here, and it's shades of pink, different shades of pink in the entire environment. It is just surrounded by it. It's spectacular. You just can't imagine. And Sakura is also the national flower. It's a very famous there. And during winter, there's a lot of snow. It's just snow covered, especially in the northern parts of Japan, in Sapporo, Hokkaido, and those areas. And it's just beautiful to see. So scenic beauty, I have no words to explain. Probably we can compare something similar to our Kashmir. So, but unfortunately, yes, not all of us are able to make it there. Its scenic beauty is excellent. And culture-wise, okay, we are very connected with them by Daruma. So if you see on the right-hand side, these are Daruma dolls, which are modeled after Bodhidharma, who is from our own land, the founder of Zen traditions. So culturally also, we are very well connected with them. So as Rama said in her introduction, it is very important to understand the people if you really have to work in Japan. So it's not only for Japan, it's also for all the other countries, but specifically in Japan, because if you want to work there, you should understand the people, their culture, their seasons, how it works, their transportation system, so that you are at a very comfortable level and you have a command over yourself. Next is about food. So very important. First time when I went to Japan, so I had taken a lot of homemade stuff that my mother packed for me along with me. But it lasted only for 2 months because you cannot carry the airline authorities have restrictions on the number of kilograms that you can really carry. So after 2 months, I started exploring the Japanese food. So sushi is the most famous food there in Japan. So I have put a picture here on how it looks. So there are those days there were no veg and non-veg version. It's always non-vegetarian, but now there are even vegetarian versions of sushi with everybody can enjoy. And there are also other delicacies like soba, udon, which are typical noodle type recipes. Then there is also this okonomiyaki, which is similar to our dosa. But with a lot of vegetables or meat on top. Then there is also this tempura and natto. Natto is nothing but soya bean based fermented dish, which is rich in proteins and very good for the health. So this is about the food, and then there are many international schools in many Indian communities who are living and settled in Japan. A lot of my friends are still working there. They have settled there with their kids studying in international schools, and now they are so used to it. And also these communities celebrate a lot of festivals. Not only Japanese festivals, but also Indian festivals, like they have this Dasara, they have Diwali, so they celebrate, and they don't, feel that they are deprived of their own culture and tradition in Japan. So Japan is an open country which allows you to practice your own religion and your own festivals and your own way of life. So that way you can still feel connected to your home country. And people are very polite, very helpful, and they strictly follow rules and regulations and highly punctual, which I already explained. And many festivals, I've just put a few here in the interest of time. One is the Hina Matsuri, where it's the doll festival. So I have put a picture here. where at home, on a pedestal where a red carpet is laid on top and a lot of dolls are arranged in the order of the hierarchy. So the king and the queen on the top, then with the ministers, and that's how it comes. You can compare it with our, Dasera, where still we have this doll festival in India also. And then there is also Sakura Festival, where during cherry blossom in spring seasons, people go to public parks and then they sit under the Sakura tree, they drink and eat and enjoy with their families, they sing, and then in the evenings they also put lanterns on the trees, which is a magnificent view. And they also, like us, respect the ancestors a lot. So they have this lantern festival where they pay homage or tribute to their ancestors. So this is in a brief about Japan, its culture, which we have to really understand. Before now, I jump directly into the opportunities that are there in Japan for all of us here. So one is the technical requirements or the technical areas with engineering background or an IT background. Of course, that's where all of you are from. And next is, as you grow up in the ladder, you also have non-technical requirements in the sense of project lead and project managers. So who actually plan the projects and execute the projects as per the milestone until the closure. So non-technical requirements are also there, and different domains or industries. For example, manufacturing industries, information systems, medicine, and also education. This is just to name a few of them. So in subsequent slides, I will explain more details. But for all this, so as Rama said, and SNRC is also primarily focusing on Japanese language training. So the language is a must. The certification is a must. So that's how I also did my certification. So JLPT, which is the Japanese Language Proficiency Test. So here there are 5 levels. N5 being the least and N1 being the highest level. So you have to you can take it every year, but you will have to join some institutions like SNRC where they provide this training so that they can guide you with the conversation, the grammar, the scripting, and all that. So JLPT will help you to lead your day-to-day life in Japan when you are there, to converse with people, to buy what you want, to travel, and also it will help you to a great extent also in your offices while you're communicating with people. But then there should be some specialization in the language, especially when you are going to work there. So that's where this business Japanese test comes in. It's conducted by JETRO, which is the Japanese External Trade Organization. So here there are levels from J5 to J1 plus. J5 is the least and J1 plus is the highest. Here it is a grading from 0 to 800. So it's not a pass or a fail in, like a JLPT. Here it is depending on the marks that you get, you are certified to a particular level. So this actually helps you to converse in a business environment. So you get a job, you go there, then you need JLPT so that you can set up your home, you can buy things, you can travel, you can even go to office, and in office you can do basic conversations, but you also need to know the Japanese conversations or the business conversations, which you would be speaking to your higher ups and your peers, and also to your reportees there. Okay, so now I come to the very, very important area where there was a collaboration between India and Japan. Okay, so Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry introduced very important two good programs. They are called JIM and JEC programs. So what are these JIM and JEC programs? So they are nothing but Japan India Institute for Manufacturing, which is JIM, and then Japanese endowed courses, which is JEC. Okay, so the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, METI, Japan, and the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, India, they signed a MOC in 2016. So what did they agree to do? They said we are going to train 30,000 floor shop leaders and engineers to Japanese standards in the next 10 years. But why did they say that? What is the problem statement? So it was found that many Japanese companies in India are not able to recruit sufficiently high quality flow shop leaders and engineers. So which caused, a lot of challenges in their business development. So this is a Make in India, Skill in India initiative between Indian government and Japan government. And what is the target of JIM and JEC? So before I get into that, I would like to actually show a small YouTube video about this. Are you able to see the video?
No, Hansa-san.
Okay, now let me stop this and share my video. Yes. Okay. Now let me get this started.
Hansa-san, is there an audio? Because the audio is not heard.
Okay. Yeah, there is an audio. 1 second. Can you confirm if you can hear now?
It's not audible.
Can you hear now?
No, it's not audible.
Oh, okay. Not sure what is. Can you confirm if you can hear now?
In November 2016.
Okay, now let me play from the beginning.
In November 2016, the Japan-India Manufacturing Skill Transfer Promotion Program was initiated in order to further strengthen the collaboration between Japan and India. This program aims to train 30,000 young Indian people with Japanese working methods in 10 years through Japan-India Institute for Manufacturing, or JIM, and Japanese Endowed Courses, or JEC. The first 4 JIMs and 1 JEC have just been started. The students are expected to contribute to Make in India and Skill India. Maruti Suzuki has set up a JIM at Ganpat Vidyanagar, Mehsana in August with dual certification system. As the largest of the JIMs, about 400 students have joined JIM in 8 trades, mainly related to automobiles, and will get NCVT as well as JIM certificates. The students will learn skills in state-of-the-art modern workshops and will become shop floor leaders in future. Toyota Technical Training Institute, TTTI, Bangalore, celebrated a decade of training to young talent from rural areas and made a new step forward as JIM in August 2017. TTTI is a dedicated 3-year residential program that focuses on the holistic development of knowledge, skill, body and attitude related to automobile. At the plant of Daikin Air Conditioning in Neemrana, Rajasthan, a JIM was opened in August. Daikin started with the all-female batch to promote gender diversity in the manufacturing industry. They are learning air conditioner assembly and air conditioning in the course, including on-the-job training at the Daikin plant. India Yamaha Motors opened a JIM in July. This center offers a diploma course in which 44 students learn two-wheeler manufacturing process through Learn and Earn scheme. Prime Maiden has opened the first Japanese endowed courses at NBKR Institute of Science and Technology. The course consists of technical lectures, including Japanese way of manufacturing. In addition, Tata Hitachi Construction Machinery and Toyota Tsusho will open new JIMs in the near future.
Okay, I'm just trying to share my screen again. Yeah, so what is the target of JIM and JECs? Yeah, so I think this video was highly informative, where they told us what is the target. So they are actually trying to train middle management engineer candidates and also train future shop floor leaders. This is again a government initiative. So with this, they have actually successfully created 19 gyms and 7 JECs across India. Now, moving on to other business opportunities. So what are the other business opportunities? One is mobile telemedicine network and collaboration with hospitals in India. So there are a lot of hospitals that, they are collaborating with, but to just take one example, in Bangalore, we have this Sakuraa hospitals where there is a collaboration between Japan and India, where they're trying to improve the daily operations, support emergencies, and also cross-border cooperation. So when we say cross-border cooperation, so what is that? So for example, there's a critical surgery that's going on, and we need expert advice. So what happens is there are, a group of medical experts from the Hokkaido University, where they will join online, and then they will assist or guide experts here on the particular critical surgery that's going on. So this is just one example. Of course, there are a lot of other such value add that is being done. Next is the ACSL drone services. So here, if you see, the ACSL is a drone manufacturing organization. So for disaster mitigation, they have actually transported emergency goods to 40 households in isolated areas. Why in isolated areas? Because in urban areas where there is a lot of air traffic, they are still trying to get permission. And there is increasing demand for drone security as an IoT device in India also, because of its population. There is a very, it's a growing market and they see a huge potential. So these are through JETRO. So Japan External Trade Organization along with the Indian government is trying to facilitate all these projects. And the next is the best out of waste, where from coconuts. So this is really an innovation, a very simple. For example, coconuts. So the flesh and the water is edible, whereas the outer shell and the husk has been either thrown away or not fully utilized or burnt, causing carbon emissions. So what a small group of people have done by collaborating with Japan, they have taken these coconut peats. So these were grounded into small dust, which are peats, and they have been used as organic manure, and this has been exported to Japan and other countries and being used as organic fertilizers or manure for their crops like tomatoes, brinjal, carrots. And it has really improved their vegetable production. And here, it's like a best out of the waste. Now also the carbon emission has been reduced because farmers don't throw it or burn it, and for them it's a high income or a revenue and increase in their living standards. And all these are manufactured, all these are done through mobile apps at present. And also in the area of artificial intelligence, where they're using UV rays to find out the sex of chicken or the small chicks. Why should we do that? Just to find out if it's a female and can lay eggs, as in order to increase the egg production. So, India is the third largest producer of eggs, and they see a very big market here. Then there is a Japanese way of advanced full body health screening. It's called Neura. So these are diagnostic centers or labs. So in Bangalore also a center has been started where state-of-art devices are there, and a lot of additional screening. So earlier, probably we did not have those gadgets, but now we have all of them. Finally, online education. So I think this is an area where it's a new normal going forward. Everything is online, including education. But in India, we still have shortage of teachers, internet access issues, low enrollment ratio. So this is another area where JETRO has, paved the way for collaboration between Japan and India, where they have partnered with IITs, Indian Institute of Technologies, for providing or creating the content and getting it reviewed by IIT professors and students. And based on that, the content gets revised and it is given to K2 schools or the public schools in India, which is delivering the online content. So mainly from 5th to 12th grade, they are doing content management, and also they are collaborating with school teachers to utilize all these lessons. So here education is also seeing a new revolution because of collaborations with Japan. So these are the areas where, it's not a particular market or a particular segment. The opportunities are vast and we just can't count them. And finally, higher education opportunities. So before I explain this, I just would like to share that, as I said earlier, a few of my friends have settled, in Japan. Their kids are studying there, and they are also doing their higher education. So higher education is very, very good. As I said, there are international schools and there are very, very good universities like the Tokyo Institute of Technology, Kyoto Institute of Technology, Tohoku, and we have Kyushu. Also many other universities like Osaka, Nagoya, and Hiroshima University. So higher education opportunities are very, very good. So here there is like SNRC, there is also this Association of Technical Overseas Studies, which is AOTS. So they are also promoting people to learn Japanese and see the different opportunities, and they be able to go to Japan and have a very good life or future. So this brings me to the end of this presentation. I hope all of you will have a lot of questions. So I'm open to take questions now. Over to Rama.
Yeah, thank you very much, Hansa-san. It was great. I mean, generally we have heard speakers talking about, the lifestyle in Japan plus the opportunities, but you have given us a varied information or inputs, which talks from how, India and Japan are collaborating, what sort of opportunities are coming up other than the 30,000, shop floor or engineering people, what they look out for. But yes, a lot of very helpful input. So students on the other end should think, how can they nurture or thinking towards the east, that is Japan. So thank you very much, Hansa-san. Now we are open for questions. So request all of you to put it in the chat box so that we can, start taking the questions and Hansa-san can respond.
I think there's a question from Devaraj.
Yeah. Yes, Devaraj-san, please type your question.
Sanjana has also raised her hands, I think.
Okay, we'll unmute. We'll unmute you. You can ask your question if you're hesitant in typing. Sanjana, we are unmuting you. Please ask your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, nice to meet you, ma'am. I just wanted to ask, I know this is related to careers and working. So I'm a second-year student right now, doing finance as my specialization. And I just want to ask, so I'm planning to study my master's in Japan soon. So is there any way, so I have two questions. So first one is there any hope for the borders opening autumn of next year? And second question is it possible to not have work experience in technical fields and still do your master's in Japan? Yeah, those are my questions.
Yes. Yeah. So borders opening is a very, very good question. Currently they are, looking into the vaccination program. So all the frontline workers in Japan have been vaccinated, and very soon it will be given to the others also. So my friend is in Japan and she's also awaiting her shot. So with that, I think by next autumn, definitely it would be open, and you can see this pandemic has given a lot of ifs and buts and a lot of uncertainties, but then we all of us have to see how to proceed in this VUCA, or a very volatile world. So that's what it is all about. So hopefully, keeping fingers crossed, be very positive, and I think the borders will open. Yes. And next is technical. Of course, yes, you don't need to have only technical skills. As I said, there are opportunities in the education field. There's opportunities in the medical field. There's opportunities in the other, if not artificial intelligence, in so many, like the cockpit. Is one area which is totally not connected to any of these. So, and you are from a finance background, believe me, you have an excellent skill already with you, and you will have a very bright future in Japan. Have I answered your question, Sanjana? think Sanjana is, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sanjana-san. We have a few questions in the chat box. So Gaurav-san asks, if we have only JLPT level N3, is it worth going to Tokyo?
N3, is it?
Yes.
Yes. See, N3, see what happened was when I went, I was, so that time it was only till level 4. So I was only L4 certified. Okay, but then I went there, and when you are in the country, it's easy for you to learn, and understand the language and improve yourself very, very quickly. So there I wrote the rest of my levels. So similarly, N3 also, you have a lot of chances for entry. But yeah, but don't continue learning here before you get an opportunity there. But N3, you will get an opportunity, yes.
Thank you, ma'am. So the next question is from Anish San. He says, is there any opportunity for SAP as a bilingual in Sony?
Yes. So, of course, see, in Sony, there are a lot of opportunities. In fact, SNRC, Rama and team, they conducted Japanese courses for our consultants also, who are primarily from a SAP background. So, of course, a lot of value for SAP consultants with bilingual skills or the Japanese language skills. So, not only in Sony, but also outside.
Yeah, just one more add-on to that. Yes, SNRC is working with, as Hansa-san said, not only Sony, with the other organizations where there are currently SAP opportunities too. So as I indicated, please upload your profile on our JLJ so that we can connect with you and take it forward.
Okay. The next question we have from Kavita-san. She wants to know, what is the medium of education for children in Japan universities? Is it English or Japanese?
Yes. So if you're saying children, it is schools, right? Or you're meaning colleges, but whatever it is, let me answer both. So there are international schools, but the medium of instruction is English. There are also Japanese schools. Now, earlier when I was there in Japanese schools, Japanese was the only medium of instruction, but now English also is a medium of instruction. Yes. So same thing applies to colleges as well.
Okay. The next question is from Tanuja-san. She would want to know how the HR profession in Japan, how is the HR profession in Japan and the opportunities and experience needed from India for a HR?
Yes, from a HR perspective, I would say, of course, there are opportunities like any other, skill set or area. Of course, but there, the experience is slightly different, and the way of operation is slightly different. That's what I have come to know as a HR. I'm not a HR professional, but one of my friends is an HR professional. So they operate slightly different. But of course, there are opportunities if you have the right skills. So mainly is you will have to be able to speak very good Japanese and be able to read and write. When I say write, type. Okay, good Japanese. That is the key to entry here.
Okay. The next question is from Acsl-san. She wants to contribute into the field of education and become an online Japanese language instructor. So what should I do to become an online Japanese language instructor?
Yeah, I think Rama will be the best person to actually answer this.
Yeah, Hansa-san, thanks. So, Acsl-san, basically, to become an online Japanese instructor, you have to be very proficient in the language. So, mainly any teacher for that matter, you have whatever subject you want to teach, you have to be a master of it. So first become a very good language expert. Then teaching, as we have seen, is one of the best ways to keep in touch with the language. I mean, you are a trainer, you would be in touch with the language day in, day out, imparting education to students. You can have opportunities within India. I suppose you're asking key online instructors in India, right? In Japan, for Japanese, there wouldn't be any market because they would have in-house Japanese trainers. So you can be an online instructor in India for Japanese. So that is possible. On the other hand, you can think of being an English trainer in Japan. So if you want to work in Japan, that's how you need to look at it. I hope I've responded to your question.
Thank you, Rama.
Okay. The next question is from Athawale-san. How to apply for a job in Japan, and is Japanese language necessary for that?
Yes. Japanese language is a must. So get started with JLPT because that is a basic conversation. Probably, SNRC can help you with that. And then, depending on your field or area, you can just think whether JETRO is required for the business conversations. So it is a must. And there are, different ways of getting a job. One is, as Rama said, her SNRC, they are helping you get placements or jobs in Japan. So I think that is the best way to go about it. Yes, or, there are organizations where when you join, for example, in the IT or non-IT manufacturing also, so they will send you to Japan. So they have, if they have a requirement. So I have been to Japan many times, even before joining Sony and after joining Sony. So that's how it is. But you can approach Rama, I think. So they have a portal where they will facilitate for you.
Okay. The next question is from Shreya-san. Are there opportunities for food science in Japan?
Sorry, other opportunities?
For food science in Japan.
Food science, is it? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, of course. See, one good thing about Japan, which I really loved and I also respect, is they have respect for food from other countries. So you will, find restaurants from all over the world, like US based, then Sri Lankan, lot of Indian food outlets. Just Vietnam, Thai, Italian, just name it, it will be there. Okay, even here in India, it is recently I could see, but then I stay in a very, almost South Bangalore, and I'll have to at least travel for an hour to get to a Japanese restaurant. But in Japan, everywhere you have different kinds of international food. So when you say food science, I think it's basically, what to say. Is it a science? What do you exactly mean by food science? Can I understand in a word? This Shreya?
Yes, Shreya-san, you can speak to.
Yes.
Food science with dietitian and nutrition, like canned foods and other things.
Exactly. Yeah, you have very, very good opportunity because there they are very health conscious. Like we are also very health conscious here. They are very, very health conscious, and medical science is a very, very good field there. So even during delivery and pregnancy, you are asked to meet. It's mandatory or compulsory to meet a dietitian there. And yes, food and nutrition and dietetics is a very very, very important topic. You have a lot of opportunities there, Shreya, but I mean, the language is important. You need to really be able to speak good Japanese and read Japanese well.
Okay. Next question is from Satyam San. He wants to know about the internship opportunities in Japan for engineers.
Okay, so internship opportunities I know from AOTS, where you know, they conduct speech competitions, and speech competitions in the sense a topic is given, and you are given 1 week time to prepare for that competition, and then in Japanese, you'll have to speak in Japanese, and you win, and then you get to go to Japan and be there to learn the culture, and also an internship is you know, a sort of arranged. This is one you know, I am aware of. Rama, do you also take up internship in Japan as part of SNRC?
No, Hansa-san. It is more of placements, I would say. Internship opportunities maybe in India we can look out for, but not in Japan as of now.
Okay, okay. So AOTS provides this. I think there are 2 centers which I am at least aware. One is Chennai. Yeah, so of course it's difficult to get it because you will have to you know, win your way to, it's called talk your way or win your way to Japan, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Some students want to know what are the job opportunities for commerce background graduates.
Okay, so commerce background. I am at present, see, it depends actually. What is your level? For example, you are in your bachelor degrees at present, or are you asking for masters, or how is it?
Okay, just me.
Okay, okay, yeah. See, commerce mostly, I think it will end up in entrepreneurships. So if you see, there are a lot of startups through JETRO that has been launched in India. So I just explained only a few of them. Through JETRO, you can actually try for a lot of opportunities.
I would like to add here. So for commerce graduates, I mean, across different Japanese organizations or organizations which are doing business with Japan, there would be some or the other requirements, but that might be in India with Japanese. So that's how, you know, there are a lot of, let's say, the finance related or commerce related people are required across organizations with Japanese skills. So yes, there is a opportunity here, but majorly in India, we could say.
Yeah, we never know, it can get started here primarily, but it can also lead you to, you know, enter Japan. So we could never say. It depends on how you harness on it, how you put your best, and how you see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's how it is.
Okay. The next question is from Asta San. She wants to know if there are any scholarship programs.
Scholarship programs, okay, not any that I am aware of. Yes. Rama, is there anything that you can throw some light on this?
Yeah, I mean, it again depends how much of Japanese knowledge you have. There are you know, Genesis programs and MEXT programs where you can go for a higher education there in Japan if you you know, are at a good level of Japanese. So if you're looking at some scholarship programs to take you to Japan and you know, study there, there are few.
Okay, the next question. Scope of biotechnology, medicine and food biotechnology in the upcoming years.
Yes, it is good, but again, whether you go there as an individual contributor or whether, through JETRO, there are establishments here and you contribute there. So that depends on how you channelize on your skills. But of course, for all this, you should be very, very good in the language.
Okay. Next question is from Manat-san. Any scope of Japanese with marketing, like digital marketing?
Yes, there is a lot of scope actually for marketing and digital marketing. So especially, way back in 2002 and 3, when I was there in Japan itself, there was a very good scope. But of course, for marketing, there's a different skill that is needed. And in Japan, you need to have excellent communication skills for that. When I just landed with my JLPT certification, so there was a marketing team with whom I could not converse because their level, of course, they were from India, from my own organization, but they had a command over the language. So that is really important.
Okay. Next question we have from Bhumika-san. She would like to know more about the scope of robotics and automation engineering in Japan in the upcoming years.
Yes. See, this is a very hot area now, and this has been very hot 20 years before in Japan. So even in Sony, we focus more on robotics and AI. And right, you would have seen a lot of Japanese companies are coming with many robos. So now they have robos as pets at home. So basically it was found that either the children don't live with their parents once they are old. For example, they finished their graduation, they had the job, so they move out of their houses, go to cities where they find the job. So parents are at home, so they need somebody with them. So that is the reason robo pets have become like a household, talk. Every other house has a robo pet at home. So robotics and AI has very good scope. Again, the language is very important, but if you're going to be here and contribute, yes, you can do that as well.
Okay. The last question we have for today from Saloni-san. Her son has completed N4 level and is in 12th standard. He's planning to do engineering. So she wants to know which engineering streams will be in demand in the coming 3 to 5 years.
See, if you see at present, it is computers or the information technology, which is on the top with robotics and artificial intelligence. That's going to rule for next at least 5 to 10 years. And that combined with the Japanese language is going to be an excellent or a killer combination, I would say.
Okay. Thank you, Hansa-san. I hope students have understood whatever you have told them and they take back all the inputs that you've shared with them. Participants, if you have any more questions or that you would like to ask, you can put it up on the WhatsApp group. We will check with Hansa-san later on and we will get back to you with the responses. Yes, I think we have missed out on a few questions here. You can put up that also on the WhatsApp group. We will get back to you shortly with the answers. So I think with this, we come to the end of the session today. Hansa-san, it was a brilliant session today. We understood a lot of things that you shared with us. lot of information, lot of inputs. Thank you very much for all your detailed inputs. I would like to thank all the students also for patiently listening to whatever she had to share and asking all your doubts and questions. I hope you've all taken back a lot of inputs from her. I would hand it over to Rama-san.
Thank you very much, Hansa-san. It was really great information what you have shared, and also patiently handled all the questions across different verticals, not only IT, CS, what sort of education, so on and so forth. I think it's been a wonderful session. There are quite a good number of questions we've received, and patiently, Hansa-san, you've responded to all of them. Please give us the opportunity to check for more if any of the students have. We will connect with you, get your inputs and share it with the group. So dear students, thank you very much for attending today's session. And having heard Hansa-san, you also know now very well how to make a career for yourself, what to choose, how to go about it. So wishing you all the best, wishing everyone a very good education and a very good career to move forward. Okay, and once again, Hansa-san, thank you very much for your time and effort.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, and all the best to all the students. Thank you. Bye-bye.